Welcome to the presentation on quadratic inequalities. Before we get to quadratic inequalities, let's just start graphing some functions and interpret them, and then we'll slowly move to the inequalities. Let's say I had f of x is equal to x squared plus x minus 6. Well, if we wanted to figure out where this function intersects the x-axis, or the roots of it, we learned in our factoring quadratics that we could just set f of x is equal to 0, right? Because f of x equals 0 when you're intersecting the x-axis. So you would say x squared plus x minus 6 is equal to 0. And you just factor this quadratic. X plus 3 times x minus 2 equals 0. And you would learn that the roots of this quadratic equation, of this quadratic function, are x is equal to minus 3 and x is equal to 2. Now how would we visualize this? Well, let's draw this quadratic function. Those are my very uneven lines. So the roots are x is equal to negative 3. So this is right here. X is at minus 3, y 0. By definition, one of the roots is where f of x is equal to 0. So the y, or the f of x axis here is 0. The coordinate is 0. And then this point here is 2, 0. Once again, this is the x-axis, and this is the f of x axis. And we also know that the y-intercept is minus 6. This isn't the vertex, this is the y-intercept. And that the graph is going to look something like this. Not as bumpy as what I'm drawing, which I think you get the general idea if you've ever seen a clean parabola. It looks like that, with x minus 3 here and x is 2 here. Pretty straightforward. We figured out the roots. We figured out what it looks like. Now, what if we, instead of wanting to know where f of x is equal to 0, which is these 2 points, what if we wanted to know where f of x is greater than 0? What x values make f of x greater than 0? Or another way of saying it, what x values make this statement true? X squared plus x minus 6 is greater than 0, right? This is just f of x. Well, if we look at the graph, when is f of x greater than 0? Well, this is the f of x axis. And when are we in positive territory? Well, f of x is greater than 0 here. Let me draw that in another color. Is greater than 0 here, right? Because it's above the x-axis. And f of x is greater than 0 here. So just visually looking at it, what x values make this true? Well, this is true whenever x is less than minus 3, right? Or whenever x is greater than 2, right? Because when x is greater than 2, f of x is greater than 0. And when x is less than negative 3, f of x is greater than 0.